Jim Gazzola. Hey, look who's here.
You missed me.
I did.
I missed you too, my friend.
Wow, Heath Sawyer has actually joined us for the first time in almost a month.
Oh, you are so full of it.
We missed you.
I missed 2 weeks. I'm sorry. My daughter had surgery, had some other, personal issues I needed to do.
You're a busy man, Mm-hmm. It's good to have you back.
It's good to be back. It's good to be
back. Not good times, though. Struggling with football.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, disappointed like everybody else. But look, I mean, we're filming on Monday. We have Nichols, the first league game. We're all 0-0, except Houston Christian went to Southeastern and won. I think
shook up the league. The league is completely shaken up.
So we'll see. I mean, but hey, there's some things we obviously learned in the preseason. I.e., we got to figure out how to stop the run.
Yeah.
I think we're trending in the right direction, but hey, listen, let's not make any excuses. We have to win football games.
Yeah, no question about it. Let's start with its basketball season.
It is. Starts today.
Starts today when we tape on Monday. Nice to see you fixing the court on the first day of taping, on the first day of basketball. But you're an old coach, an old basketball coach. Mm-hmm. The bones want to get out there and the juices flow today, or?
Coach Wade, went at 6 a.m. I had an appointment earlier, a breakfast appointment earlier, and then have staff meeting, so I couldn't get out there. I'll go by Coach Kennedy, who's going to be join us here momentarily. And the first day of practice is always great. Everyone's excited, and but do I miss it? Of course. I miss the competition at times, but I love my job. I love what I'm doing, and we have a lot of work to do in that department too.
Yeah, but you've got the league tournament here for basically ever.
6 more years.
It's 6 more, basically ever. So, I want to get to this. National realignment has happened again. Mm-hmm. Is there any talk of realignment on the FCS level? In other words, when you guys talk about expansion, do you guys talk about different leagues that could be created, different scenarios because it seems like everything's open for grabs on the top level. Why not on this level?
Oh, I think those are real conversations. I think that, I think that the WAC and the ASUN, that whole
merger,
that's unsustainable. I think that there could be some teams from FCS move up into FBS. When that happens, I think that everyone's going to look around and say, okay, how can we, figure out regionally where we can, get the most bang for the buck. So I think all those things are on the table. Those are all things that, Commissioner Grant and I have talked about. There's going to be some fallout, and there's going to be some opportunities to, merge, add, however you want to, talk about it. But I don't think I think that's a great point. It's all happening up here. I think it could happen down here too.
Does it? You guys are still committed as a league to expansion, though.
Oh, for sure. I think we have to. Look, the just football scheduling alone is just brutal. I would love to add 2 more football playing schools, just because it's just, for us on a non-revenue game or a non-guarantee game, going all the way to, Eastern Illinois, financially doesn't make any sense. No. Next year we had to sign a contract with Weber State.
Yeah.
And that's a good game to have at home, but it's people don't understand when you fly a football team across the country, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so it's just hard to get games. Everyone's in the same boat, but if your league can get to where you're having 5 games every year that are already locked in, if not 6, it just makes it so much easier to schedule.
Yeah. The Eastern Illinois, you probably didn't get a lot of money from that because they didn't draw 3,000 people.
We didn't get anything. It was a home and home, and we had to have that when the Texas schools left.
Yeah.
We had to, do a quick merge with the OVC. So they came here last year, and we had to return it this year. It's hard.
And they're now in a deal with, is it Big South or what?
It is. Yeah. Yep. Exactly right.
So they've already cut another deal. But you didn't have to play 2 games a year.
Right.
With the OVC, like Eastern Illinois has to play 2 here.
Yes, they're playing at Northwestern State this year. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting thing, but there is, there are FCS teams in Texas that you can play like Stephen F. in that.
For sure, and we are actively trying to get them on the schedule.
The interesting thing to me though is everybody talks about FBS and all this stuff, and they always ask me, well, are we ready? Houston just drew a home game with less than 5,000 people against Sam Houston State.
For sure.
And you drew 12,000 against Tarleton to open. So it's not just about crowds, but crowd-wise, you're actually in the conversation.
Look, for sure. And you know, everyone wants to win. And, you know, but I think that it comes down to finances. And all these teams that are positioning themselves to make moves, it comes down to money. It comes down to finances. And what does your books look like?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so, and everyone's going to say, well, gosh, you know, we're not winning here right now. Well, if you're going to continue to look at the life like this, you have to look where we're trying to go 4, 5, 6, 10 years from now as an institution and as an athletic department. We have to get, like I've said before, we have to do we got to take care of our own selves first. That's obviously winning, but it's also getting our finances in order.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, we've talked about it. I mean, we have to consolidate our funding. We have to consolidate our fundraising. And it is proven over and over and over that when you do that, the ability to raise money only enhances.
And that's why basketball season is such a big deal, because this is going to be a financial boom, I would imagine.
It already is.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, in the first 72 hours, we had $250,000 in new ticket sales. You know, the season tickets are flying off right now. So obviously everyone's excited about men's basketball, and no question about it. It should be. It already is you know, we've made more money in men's basketball before we played a game than we have in years.
We'll wait as McNeese's answer to Deion Sanders. When we come back, we'll have Lynn Kennedy and the women's basketball coach after this on Poke Nation.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Thanks. And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Welcome to Big Daddy's. Come on in and have a seat anywhere. We're the little restaurant with a lot of flavor.
Big Daddy's, your local neighborhood sports grill and cafe, where there's something for everyone. On the go, try our home-cooked daily plate lunches. Big Daddy's loves kids. Bring your family for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You'll always find delicious food with smiling, friendly faces and servers at Big Daddy's.
Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And we're locally owned.
We're making meals every day.
When you're knocked down, sometimes it might take a little longer to get back up again. But even still, know that you will. To the problem solvers, those who knocked the dust off and started over, we're glad you're still here. We're thankful we're all still here. Since 1907, we've been your Louisiana bank, your community bank. And together, we're getting back closer to normal every day. It's our heritage. It's who we are. And that's what makes Evangeline, well, Evangeline.
At Lakeside Bank, we specialize in stress-free banking services. Now you can stress less with our Great Escape Spa giveaway. One winner a month can unwind with a relaxing spa package from Scarborough's Salon and Day Spa. Then, in December, we'll give away a luxurious relaxation trip for 2 to Miraval Resort in Arizona. Now that's stress-free. Register today at any Lakeside banking location. Stress less at Lakeside Bank.
Welcome back to Poke Nation. Coach Kennedy, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, great to be here.
For sure. So, okay, we're filming this on Monday, the first official day of practice.
Yep.
Are we ready to go?
We're ready. Yeah, it's been a good fall. I think we're anxious to get on the court now, first day of practice, and less than 50 days away from the first game. Yeah, it's exciting.
So, so talk about, obviously, most people that are watching this, they think, okay, you start practice way back in the day, October 15th, right?
Yeah.
Now you can start in September. It's 42 days before your first contest. Talk about, how many days you get to practice, and then how will you break that up?
So, in the fall, we go 3 days, about an hour each, and then we have a couple days of walkthroughs where we're just going over the plays and talking about strategy, especially defensive things that we do. Now we get into it, we can use our 20 hours, so we'll go 3 days and then off one.
Okay.
So we'll have a full day off. So it's a little unconventional where we don't do the 5 days or 6 days and then 1 day off. But for us, 3 days and then 1 off. Actually, the intensity of the practices, because we scrimmage all the time, they get a full day of recovery and treatment, which has been great for us. And going into our games, it's kind of kept us healthy the last couple of years.
Good.
Now, you brought in a lot of new players, like it seems like everybody does nowadays.
Right.
What's the hardest part about that?
Well, I think, last year we went to the portal, and this year we went with more freshmen. We did have a couple portal kids this year, but more freshmen. We really keyed in on, some of the better players in the region. And so with those players, we have 2 of the top 5 players coming from Oklahoma as freshmen. One of the top players in Europe is here, and we signed her over La Tech. So we really keyed in on the freshmen and building it from the ground up, and that's kind of what our foundation has been, building programs. And so we went back to that this year. But I'm excited about this team. We're young. We have no seniors, but it's all on the court too. We got to put out the wins.
Is it because I know one of the things you wanted to do last year was get a little more athletic?
Yes.
Is it more athletic?
Yes. We are 100 times more athletic this year. We're probably actually taller, longer, more athletic. Faster, we're going to see the up-tempo style that we're known for. It's been fun to watch us, develop this fall. But yeah, it's going to be a lot different.
So, Coach, talk about obviously last year, we had high expectations going in and, didn't reach those expectations. What is this year when you talk about what, like playing faster, what are some of the changes that you're going to see or Polk Nation's going to see this year that weren't there last year?
Yeah, I think we really keyed in on our depth, especially with recruiting. So I think we're probably not as individually talented as last year. And you saw that, during the games. But this year we're going to have more depth. I think as an overall team, we have more talent and skill and more basketball knowledge. It's more basketball smart. You can see that, especially now we're 10 times farther ahead this year as far as putting in everything, our playbook, and then actually getting out there and executing. And you can see that every day in practice, and so that's going to be a lot different. But we are young. I mean, but it's exciting too because they have they're all coming from winning programs. They just want to win and win championships, and so that's been nice. And I love our schedule too, with the 10 home games here at the Legacy. So it's going to be exciting as we go through October to see their growth in that month.
That's great.
One of the things you did last year was you went on the road a lot.
Yeah.
You said you got 10 games here at home. Does that kind of build your chemistry a little better because you're more used to getting kids settled in, especially with freshmen?
Yeah, I think so. I think last year we were trying to use our experience on the road, and it didn't work. It didn't work. We played some really tough teams. This year we went more the other way. We went with more home games. We're hosting the MTE, bringing in some quality teams here for that. But it's getting maybe some confidence early on into our 3 big games on the road, this non-conference, at LSU, at Kansas State, and at Baylor. So hopefully you get that chemistry, you get that youth out of the way, and they get that experience they need to play against those tough teams.
You're just trying to play Kim Mulkey teams or something?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you go where the money is, when you have your guarantee games. But we want to play against the best, and we want to compete at the highest level. For us to get to the NCAA tournament and play those types of teams later on, you've got to play them early on as well.
I would assume that LSU will be the number 1 nationally.
I would think that they are.
Out of the gate. What's it like to get to play them and have them in the same state?
I think it's great for our program, to compete against the highest level and the team that's everyone kind of is gunning for. But for us as a young team, we've got to go out there and compete. We talk about it. You always play against these teams in the summer and against those individuals in the summer. Now you get the highest stage to play them on.
And you're going to bring them in here one day?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, we get that.
No, but
Easy to do, right?
Easy to do, yeah.
She does seem willing to play a lot of teams around the state and kind of bring basketball to the state.
They're going
to Hammond.
Yeah, they're going to Hammond this year. So I think it's something hopefully in the future we can, work out.
Yeah, they got to do those things.
Oh,
See,
no doubt.
Now you're on record as being
Why not? Why not? So, Coach, real quick before our first break, is when you look at the schedule, talk about that a little bit. I know you mentioned it, but you got more home games. Talk about who's coming in for the MTE and who can the fans know that's coming in into the Legacy Center this year?
Yeah. Well, I mean, first, November 6th, we have our kids game where all the elementary school kids will be here. I think last year we had close to 4,000 students here, which is their first look at McNeese, and they get to come to the Legacy, and a lot of those kids came back too. We've got Wisconsin, Milwaukee coming for MTE, Mississippi Valley State, and then ULM is coming down for that as well.
Awesome.
We've got UAPB, Tarleton State are also going to be in the Legacy this fall too. So I think it's a great non-conference schedule, especially for a younger team this year to get their confidence here at home and then carry that over into our conference schedule.
Yeah, that kids game was a Chuck E. Cheese on steroids on a Saturday morning type of atmosphere. I'll tell you that. When we come back, we're going to talk to Coach Kennedy about the upcoming conference season after this on Poke Nation.
Serving the community of Southwest Louisiana since 1954 and a loyal supporter of McNeese State University for over 30 years, Southwest Beverage has provided scholarships to students, supported athletic programs, and sponsored the Banner Series since its inception. We pride ourselves on being the premier beverage supplier in Southwest Louisiana, offering an extensive portfolio of beer, spirits, and non-alcoholic beverages. We're Southwest Beverage, and we want to say thank you for your support.
Southwest Louisiana has a new home for fast, friendly physical therapy care with unlimited performance physical therapy. With over 13 years of experience, Dr. Greta Spangler and her caring, friendly staff are ready to serve you. They specialize in neck and back pain, post-surgical care, and dry needling. Restore mobility and live a pain-free life with unlimited performance physical therapy. Call today and schedule an appointment.
Ever since I was young, I've known what I wanted to do. Sure, I had some guidance along the way. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But eventually, I had all I wanted. Family, career. It went by fast. Now I'm here. Retirement. And thanks to sound financial planning, it will be all I hoped for. And our children will have a secure legacy. For me, retirement is the next great chapter in my life.
Ferdinandson Financial Group. Let us help you make a plan.
We're all from different places and backgrounds. We've each experienced our own versions of life, but in the end, we're all on the same team. I'm part of that team, along with these players in purple and gold.
Kayshawn Buddha, Malik Neighbors, Miles Frazier, Greg Brooks,
Kyron Lacy. Whether on the field, in the community, or in the courtroom, your team matters.
So join our team. Make a difference. Bet. Let's get it done.
We're back on Poke Nation. Basketball season is officially here, just a month and a half away from the season opening up. Last year, we talked a little bit at the end of last year about what you kind of learned in the first 2 years as the conference, the athleticism, what type of league it is, officiating. What have you brought to the recruiting differently than that? You went with freshmen now. What do you see as the difference?
I think, we did a lot of great things too the first 2 years. I think the most wins, in 6 years, and then actually winning the game last year in the tournament, getting our confidence now going to this season. So, we took a step back, looked at everything, and I think we're on the right track. I loved our athleticism and length at positions, and so we actually made it more of a team thing this year where we are a long team. And when we get out there now, when we're in our full court press, it's going to be hard for teams to get around us, and now we have the speed to back that up too. I think last year we had a couple positions we didn't have that speed or athleticism, so our rotations were off. I think we're going to see that now this year. And just our offense, I think, at times we were really, really good, and then at times we were kind of stagnant and didn't shoot the ball as well. I think we're going to see more balance this year, especially from our depth. We can shoot it. We can get to the basket. I like our inside-outside game this year as well. So there's going to be a lot of new things that we could be able to do as far as strategy on the offensive side.
Shooting was a big thing last year. It was hit or miss.
It was. Yeah, it was.
So you want to see more balance and more consistency?
I think so too. And we can shoot from all 5 positions now. And last year was like 2 or 3. At given times, it was only 2 or 3 players, and it was all based on injuries and health. This year, we've got players at all 5 positions that can shoot it inside and out, and it really changes, especially our spacing and tempo when we can shoot it from all 5 positions.
So, Coach, let's talk about your staff. You have a few additions to your staff. Talk to Poke Nation about that, about the new members of the staff, and maybe what are their responsibilities. So when you come to a game, I always used to say, fans come to a game and you have a staff like used to get asked all the time, well, what does this guy do? What does that guy do?
Right.
Talk about the staff, the new additions, and some of the responsibilities.
I'm extremely excited about our staff this year. I think we're probably one of the only teams in Division I that has 4 former players on staff. So they've all played for me. Yep. Kiana takes over the wings now. Mm-hmm. She's kind of our recruiting coordinator, steps into that role. She played for me at Portland State. Sid Schultz, she came from Portland State as well. She's a post coach, but she's kind of taken over the rebounding. When she was in high school, she was the leading rebounder in the state of Wisconsin. So she's taken over the rebounding. We got to get better at rebounding and our post play overall. Kylie Jimenez she played at her grad year at Nevada, but she played for me all 4 years at Portland State, started every game all 4 years. It led us to a conference championship there, but she'll take over the point guard coaching role. And then Nene Stubblefield comes back from, as our ops this year. I talk a lot about her commitment to our program and to our staff and to me. 100% she was bought in from the beginning, and now it's paying off in a full-time role for her. So it's great to have her back and kind of get, the Louisiana ties with her as well.
For sure.
Who are some of the new names we're going to hear? Because there's a lot of new faces on the team.
A lot of new faces,
who are some of the names that people are going to look for?
I think our freshmen, from Oklahoma are really good players. It's just a matter of time. Will they develop? Boston Berry, Asia Reeves, those two have come into practice and played at a high level. I think we've got 10 to 15, that can play at a high level. Chris coming back, a point guard from last year. She's healthy now, so hopefully she'll be able to fit in and get a little bit more time. But you're going to see a lot of new faces, but I think that the key is for them to gel together. I haven't seen a team come this together so fast in probably all my years of coaching. They really have connected. We just come off our team retreat this weekend, and it was a great time for them to kind of come together and have that chemistry that we need on the court.
Last year, injuries were a big factor. Was the first part of the year, the flu bug hit you.
Yeah.
Did that kind of kill chemistry right off the bat?
No, you want to think it is. As a coach, you want to think it does, but we had too many issues regardless off the court, and I think that we went into the offseason and changed those and really made an effort to get players that wanted to be at McNeese, that want to win a championship and want to play together. And that's really what we focus on in recruiting. We have that. Now it's just getting on the court and proving it.
Coach, a couple things left. So going into the season, talk about the league. Who when you look at the league standings, like when I was coaching here, it's when Stephen F. Austin and Sam Houston were in the league. Yeah. So I always knew, like, hey, if we want to compete, we got to be able to compete against them. Who in the league are you looking at saying that's who we got to get to?
I think there's 3 or 4 teams, and I think it's wide open too this year with women's basketball. But Southeastern, Lamar, Corpus Christi, those 3 teams kind of stand out. After that, I think it's wide open. We talk about it all the time. We were like 1 rebound away from probably being in the championship game, and who knows what happens. And we lose to Southeastern here on a rebound. So it's like we were that close last year, and we were probably, as a staff, we felt like we were kind of far away, but we were that close last year. We're right on the door knocking, and we just need to kick down the door now and win those games. And I like our team. We are young, but I think that's a good thing at times, too, to be ready for conference play.
When we come back with Coach's final thoughts on Polk Nation after this.
Are you looking for high quality and affordable furniture but don't know where to look? Hi, I'm Justin Guidry, owner of Guidry's Warehouse Furniture, where you can get all the brands you know and love. Where you can buy home furniture that complements your style. Where we have lots of financing options, including no credit needed financing.
Where we deliver.
Stop by Guidry's Warehouse Furniture.
Where we make your house a home.
Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done. Car wrecks done. Personal injury done. Workers' comp done. Truck wrecks done. Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done.
We're back. Coach, a lot of talk about football, basketball now. I want to ask you this. You said the Rockets are coming here?
They
again?
are. Yeah, they're going to be here next week. And
how many days? 3?
I want to say it's 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to practice during the middle, during the middle of the day. And it's great for. I think it says a lot about the Legacy Center.
Yeah.
It says a lot about our facility that, they continue to want to come back here. I think a little bit, Tillman likes to put them in the Golden Nugget to kind of get some of their money back.
Yeah, and then now you have to, yes. I think that's probably obvious.
But, when you look at our facilities, they love it.
Well, if it wasn't a good facility, they wouldn't come back.
100. They can go anywhere.
The Players Union wouldn't let them.
That's exactly right.
So it has to be a good facility for that. And that's a good feather in your cap.
It is, and I think that they're starting to get more invested in Lake Charles and to McNeese athletics, and
that's a good thing.
We're starting to have those conversations, and so again, being able to see things down the road, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, and what this relationship, potentially could mean to us, I think it's a really big deal.
No, that's a big thing. I wanted to ask you this as a member of the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a concern for you with seeing the Louisiana teams go 0-14 to start, that financially the issue is they can't compete? Does that worry you in the future?
For sure. I mean, look, I think that all of our state institutions are struggling with enrollment, which in turn affects your budget.
Yeah.
When you stack them all up, our ability to retain and recruit students is there's an issue.
Yeah.
That has hurt our funding, just like it's hurt other teams in our state.
Yeah.
So that has to get remedied, has to get fixed. It does worry me a little bit. The one thing about us that we've proven is we have the ability to raise money here. There's not a day that goes by that I'm not meeting 2 or 3 different people in this community, talking about and raising money and raising awareness. And we've continued to set our goals very high in fundraising, and we've continued to reach them. But that's not going to stop.
No, it's also now, so this weekend, Nichols comes to town.
Yeah.
It's your second concert.
Yeah.
As the concert
Wayne
promoter.
Wayne Toops.
So now you play the role of concert promoter and party host.
Yes.
Tell us about Wayne Toops.
Oh, he's an icon. In this area, he's an absolute icon, and I'm excited. He's been here the last couple years, and he brings all the people out. People love him, and he is a really, really interesting guy. He has a great story, and like I said, he's an icon.
Now you can't have rain this week, can you?
Oh,
it hadn't rained. It hadn't rained in like 6 months, and it rains just 30 minutes before you're about to start with all your pregame festivities on the open.
How about that? Yeah, how about that? Yeah, we didn't get started till about 8:30 that night. So
no, that was
a long night.
It's a long night. That was a long night. What do you expect to see this weekend as far as crowd support still?
I'm very hopeful. I think that our fans are true fans. I think that we'll have a great crowd. I think tailgating will go well. It really is. I just love our fan base because they're diehard. They love it. They understand the process. But make no mistake about it. They're fans, and like we all do, we want to win, and we have to figure out how to win some football games.
And you bring LSU baseball in.
We do in November, which is really, really cool. It's going to be after. We're going to have a football game on Saturday, and we got LSU on a Sunday for a fall game, which is
16 innings.
Unbelievable to have the national champions here, on campus. It's awesome.
No, it's a great opportunity to sell your program,
right?
For your fans to come out and see them. They've always drawn well when they come. Obviously, LSU always draws well when it's in town. But you guys have kind of upgraded schedules to where you're playing more LSU. You gonna get LSU in basketball again?
I don't know if LSU. We try,
not until somebody's out the door, maybe.
We tried to get that done. They had no interest in playing Coach Williams.
Not until probably somebody's out of town.
Yeah,
but I like your basketball schedule. I think it's pretty even and evenly fair, and it is. We'll see you next time on Poke Nation with Coach. If he comes back, we'll see if he comes back after this.